Good evening. Welcome to day 5 of Ignite Your Soul Connection. Yay!
Day 5.
My name is Shemsu-t, and I am so excited that we have been able to be with you this week to bring you the amazing contribution of our Master Force coaches. You have spent an amazing week listening to us talk about coaching for the soul. On Monday night, we had a chance to listen to Alanda and Angel as they talked to us about how pain heals, right? And then on Tuesday, we spoke with Lisa Anderson about mirror work. That was amazing too. And then on Wednesday, we had our brother King, Timothy Glenn, come in and share with us about shadow art. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to that, please do. I've listened to it again and it's worth pencil and paper, right?
Yes.
And then on Thursday, we had an enormous session with Kiana Nene Thompson sharing with us about chakra healing. That in itself was a course in healing. All right. And then tonight, we're going to spend the next hour and a half with Dr. Tammye talking about food is a frequency. Now, most of you may know that we delve deeply into spirituality, metaphysics, as well as all of the other healing art modalities. So we want you to know that our concern is for your well-being. We're not trying to convert anyone. We're not trying to teach anyone above or beyond what they already know. We want to inspire you to do your own research. So when we're speaking here and you're not really comfortable with what we're saying, go do your research. Find out for yourself what works for you. And then you can always contact one of us for clarity or, just send us an email at igniteyoursoulconnection@gmail.com. And also, I want to mention that we dedicated this year's show to the original founding members of Master Force, my dear sister friends, Catherine Winston and Angela Stewart. I refer to them as Akaharit and Ma'at Shrita. We were 3 mothers in the suburbs sitting around on Wednesday nights teaching our children meditation. And that was the birth of Master Force in 1990. So it's in gratitude that we dedicate this series to them. So without further ado, let me have you meet our speaker for tonight, Dr. Tammye. Yay! Come on in, Tammye. Now introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you and how you even got on this path with us.
Wow. Shemsu-t. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for being a part on tonight. I appreciate your energy. It's Friday night. It's the weekend before Christmas. So I know everyone is busy. So I'm grateful. So a little bit about me. I am a naturopathic doctor and I'm a life coach. I'm a Master Force life coach.
Yes.
And many people don't understand what naturopathic means, but I work with getting to the root of the imbalance or the disorder that's happening or the disease that's happening within the body. So I don't prescribe medication. I don't believe in for prevention purposes to take meds to silence symptoms. I don't do any of that. Okay, so that's a naturopathic doctor. I'm a Master Force life coach, and actually, this is 7 years. I was in the first Master Force life coach class 7 years ago. So I'm excited about celebrating 7 years. 7 is the number of completion, 8 is new beginnings, and to be invited by Shemsu-t to actually be a coach for this series this year is a huge honor, and I appreciate that so much. So thank you, Shemsu-t.
Thank you for accepting. Yes.
Thank you. So how did I get here? Right? I'm always reflecting, Shemsu-t. How did I get here? My journey started actually 10 years ago when I learned about detoxing and naturopathy and prevention and natural healing. I actually was working in the pharmaceutical sales industry.
Wow.
So I sold drugs at that time.
The drug dealer.
I was a drug dealer. I had the drugs in my trunk, and and I was making some good money too.
Yes.
Because everybody want to pop a pill. Okay?
No, that's right. They were looking for you.
They were looking for me. I actually met a woman who had lupus, and she had invited me to her home, and I saw her kitchen and her refrigerator had all this healthy stuff. You know, I call it healthy stuff. And she was she looked healthy to me, a very slender woman. And I said, "Why do you eat like this?" And she told me her story and how her grandmother was ill and she had to take care of her and her mother at the same time. Her mother had lupus, and then she was diagnosed with lupus while caring for her mom.
Wow.
So at the time, she was learning then how to help and heal her mom. She didn't learn in time to help her mother, but she learned in time to help herself.
Yes.
So because my degree is in biology pre-medicine, and hopefully everyone had an opportunity to see my bio.
Right.
And I had been in medicine between managed care and pharmaceutical sales. I'm like, naturopathy. Wow, what is that area? Natural healing? Never heard of it. Never heard of it. So I met my naturopathic doctor, Dr. Derek Williams, 10 years ago.
Okay.
And he introduced me to food and vibration of food and frequency, and my life turned around.
Wow.
Yeah. So I actually, as a result of healing my high blood pressure, my cholesterol, reversing high cholesterol to normal, blood pressure to normal, actually disintegrating my fibroids.
Yes.
My right eye became 20/20. So as a result of learning all this about the importance of food and the healing effects of food and things like that, I said, I have to leave this industry.
Wow.
I know that the drugs that I'm selling is killing people.
You were completely out of integrity if you would have stayed in that line of work. I mean, your soul was calling you out, right?
Oh, but they taught me, Shemsu-t, that my drug was helping people.
Yeah.
It was improving their quality of life, that they could do things that they couldn't do because of my drug. So I felt I was doing the right thing. So once I learned the truth, I was, as you said, I had to get within integrity.
Yeah.
So I actually left the pharmaceutical industry in 2010, and I started my business with Restore by Tammye Inc.
Man, 2010 was your year.
2010 was my year. Yes, absolutely. So now I started this business, had a business partner. I had, like, everything was happening so quickly. I went from making a lot of money to a little money.
Yeah.
I actually went from being at the top of my game. I was the district trainer at my company and the senior representative, and I had all these certifications, pharmaceutical management, as a medical representative. You know, I was on the top. I had been doing this 11 years. Now I'm starting all over in a completely different field, in a completely different area, and I'm starting a business, and I have no idea how to start a business.
And at the time, no clients.
Right. And at the time, no clients. Okay. So I think that the camera is not, I'm actually getting a sign saying that the camera, I guess, is not on me. I think it hasn't shifted.
I see you.
So you see me? Okay.
I see you.
Okay. It's not showing on someone else's screen. I don't know why it's not showing your screen. Okay. So then I don't know anything about starting a business.
Mm-hmm.
All I know is that I learned all this information. I wanted to help other people learn how to heal. I lost like 60 pounds.
Man.
I mean, yeah, I mean, just amazing things. So I then ventured on, started the business. And then, Shemsu, the universe brought me to you.
Wow.
Because now all I know is the clinical medical stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know the metaphysical. I have no idea what metaphysical means. I bought a book by Deepak Chopra called Reinventing the Mind, Resurrecting the Soul.
Yes.
I had no clue what any of the stuff he was saying meant.
Wow.
So, and I don't know if you remember, but we actually met at a networking event at the South Loop Hotel.
Yeah, and that was long before we started Masterforce. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. And so Kavan Ware introduced us.
Yes, that's right, Kavan. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I knew that you had what I needed to be able to create the business and go to the next level with the business. So It wasn't just about knowing the medical stuff.
Right.
But also, too, I had to learn how to heal myself, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually. And so then that's how I ended up getting enrolled eventually into the Masterforce certification course.
That is powerful, Tammye, because, you're pointing to something that some of us really don't consider. Mm-hmm. That if we don't know people and if we don't know how to connect with people, and that's who we want to be of service to, we can have the best product on the planet. But if you don't know how to connect to the people to have them use the product, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
So that was absolutely perfect timing in the universe for you to, get this healing, get to know yourself, and get to know how to take care of other people beyond your own healing. That's powerful.
Yes, it was. And the difference actually that I've seen or that I've experienced since actually going through the course. Now, remember, Shemsu, now I've been in medicine for over 20 years.
Yeah.
So.
And you were sales, so you knew the sales side. That's what I love about you.
Yeah. Sales, marketing, that's what I do. Mm-hmm. I knew all that. And I also knew the mechanics of how to physically detox to heal the body. But what I didn't know was how to heal the soul.
Wow.
How to hear the soul. How to balance and clear this mind. I didn't have that piece.
Okay.
So from actually going through the certification program and learning all the stuff I had no clue even existed, and adding that to the experience and the knowledge that I had, I was able to then create the bit. And plus, you were my life coach, so that helped. You got that part. You
bang, right? 2 bangs for your buck, exactly.
That happened. So you actually really helped me, and then and all my classmates and just in the group to be able to bring a complete product to my clients and to be able to change the program that I had originally created to a more holistic program.
And you have helped so many people. Do you keep account of the number of people that have gone through your programs, Tammye?
I actually, maybe a couple of years ago, I was getting ready to do an email blast, and it wouldn't allow me to put in so many names. And then I later found out, the maximum was 300. And I said, I have over 300 people. Wow. So I can only imagine what it is now. But
yeah.
What a blessing. Yeah. I'm very grateful. I'm grateful for, my parents. I'm grateful for my naturopath. I'm grateful for you as my life coach. my fellow coaches that have been supporting me throughout the 7 years that were in my class and thereafter. I just could not have, I wouldn't be here without all the love and support that surround my family, my friends. So that's how, I'm sitting here today. And actually, so I didn't mention, because I don't know if everyone knows that I recently moved from Chicago to Atlanta.
Right, exactly. You left the Windy City.
So this is the first time I am going live in Atlanta.
Wow, look at that. A whole nother dimension added.
Yeah, a whole nother dimension. And I mentioned 7 years. I believe numbers are important, obviously. Mm-hmm. 7 is the number of completion. I actually have been on this path to self-mastery for 7 years. Actually, December 26th will be 8 years. Wow. So the universe brought me so many amazing things this year. I reaped so many amazing things, including a trip to Jamaica and then to Ghana.
Yes, tell us a little bit about both of those.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
We're talking about frequency and vibration tonight.
Oh my goodness, yes.
And to be amongst our people. Now, Ghana was a whole different level where I had an opportunity to witness just the spirituality of our people over there, the goodness, the community, the love that they've given to, they call us Black Americans. Us Black Americans, seeing us come back home is what they say. And also all of the help and support they provided for us to make our stay comfortable. The guides that were there, it was an amazing experience to see our community on money, our community running the airport, all of the people over there, most of the people are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
To see them supporting each other. So for me, I said, okay, I was led here for a reason. I believe that was that piece. I needed the history. I needed to go into the slave castles. I needed to get a complete story for myself and to be able to teach others how to get to this place called self-mastery. Wow. It's not a place, it's not a destination, but how to actually live a balanced, loving, free life.
Right. It's a place that you get to within yourself.
Yeah. Absolutely. Within yourself. Yeah. Absolutely. So that, I believe, helped me to transition to Ghana. I mean, to move to Atlanta.
Yes.
And so here I am today, loving Atlanta.
Wow.
Loving the energy of the people. The Black community is very strong here. Very helpful. The networking is amazing. They network for you.
Wow.
They're happy to see that you're here. They want to support your business.
Yes.
So the vibration is high. The energy is high. And that ties into kind of what I'm going to be talking about tonight.
But that is perfect, Tammye, because when you talk about Jamaica and you talk about Ghana, and in terms of food, I mean, everything that they have is sourced from the sun. I mean, I remember I used to go to Jamaica quite frequently. I have not been to Ghana, but I used to go to Jamaica, and we used to just pick the fruit walking down the street off the tree. Somebody go, here, Shemsu-t, taste this. I say, can we eat that? They haven't sprayed pesticides on it.
I know.
They're like, no, you can pour the bottled water. Just pour the water over there. Stick it in the ocean, whatever you want to do. You can eat it. If it's a little dirt, nature.
Nature.
Like at its finest, real, right now,
Beautiful.
So that frequency, why don't you start there? Let's talk about
Mm-hmm. So what I can say is that when we talk about frequency, we have to talk a little bit about the law of vibration to even be able to understand what frequency means. You're absolutely correct. The fresh fruit, you eat it and it tastes different than what we've had over here. It makes you feel, you can feel it. It's all of that I feel like we are numb to here in some areas of the United States, specifically in the Midwest.
Right.
But law of vibration basically postulates that everything we see moves. We are billions of molecules collapsing together. So whereas we may look as if we are still, if you put us under a huge microscope, you only about 2 or 3% of us is actually solid. So the rest is just molecules collapsing together. So knowing and understanding that nothing is still, everything is moving,
Wow.
everything vibrates.
Everything vibrates.
Then you can understand that everything has a frequency. So the energy produces a frequency. So food is a frequency. Food, so I had to bring my if you think about Shemsu-t, when we walk into a grocery store, and the first department we walk into usually, or the first area of that store, is the produce section.
Yes. Yes.
The reason being is because the frequency, the vibration is so high. The fruit, the frequency of the fruit and the vegetables is so high that they want you to walk through there so you can feel amazing. So when you walk through the store, you can buy. You feel good. They have the music playing.
That's right. That's right.
But it's by design because food has frequency. What do you think about that?
I think that I can see them having that as a setup. I can really see that.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of this one store when we go down, when we go down to that spa.
Oh yeah.
And that one store have you been in that store where you
walk? Not.
Oh my God. It's like 3 aisles of produce.
Really?
All different colors, stacked high, and I mean just rows, and you see the colors, you see the oranges, the reds, the greens, the purples, the whites, all the colors.
Wow.
And you almost just stay in the freaking produce section. They even have like a little cafe area right off from it.
Wow.
So when you say that, it's like, yeah, it's life. It literally is life there. Yeah.
And if you go on the South Side in the Black communities, the section is barely, I don't know, a foot long, maybe. And
the produce is not all that exciting to look at.
It's not. And the rest is food that has, I call it very little energy, if any. I call it dead fruit. The meat section is jumping. So knowing and understanding, I actually thought about this, Musha. So when we think about food, we have been conditioned to select our food based on what we have a taste for, and what we have a taste for usually is tied to what's happening in our lives.
Oh, comfort food.
So, what haven't I had in a while? I got a taste for this. So we tend to look at food as like entertainment.
Yes.
We don't think about when we're stressed out, oh, I'm going to go get me a bell pepper.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to get me some kale. We don't do that. We want to go and get something that has little to no nutritional value. And why? And which, I want to talk a little bit about the difference between like positive and negative effects of food.
Okay.
And high frequency is so important, and high frequency foods. I'd say high frequency foods are like your fruits, your vegetables, you know, the phytonutrients that's in your vegetables, your alkaline water, things
Oh,
like
yes, yes.
yeah. And then the low frequency would be, you know, like your cooked foods, your animal products. They affect the body. And the way that affects the body, if you think about how you feel when you have uh, a steak dinner with
Oh,
mashed potatoes and you got your broccoli with cheese and you know, and afterwards you're like, whew, I'm sleepy, I'm going to bed.
that's the first thing you want to do is nod.
Nobody trying to go play double dutch, go dancing,
Mm-mm.
right? So we look at a couple of things. Okay, it could be food combining. Okay, you putting your protein with your carbs and your fats, and the body's taking a long time to digest it. You can look at it that way, and that would be fair. But you can also look at, well, everything here has been cooked, so there are no live enzymes in the cow that I'm eating,
Yes.
in the potatoes that I've cooked, or in the broccoli that may have been overcooked.
Mm.
So if it doesn't have any live enzymes that's going to contribute to you having energy or your body feeling good, then it's comfort food. So is that a negative effect? Depends on the person. If you want to go home and you didn't want to go dancing, or if you know, want to sit at the TV, if you want your stomach to grow big, I mean, you know, we all have choices.
You do have a choice there.
I'm not here to judge. If you want to experience constipation, all those are options. But be aware that the food does have a frequency that is going to affect your body overall. And having plant-based foods, having salads, you know, just having some food sometime that just has some life in it. You know, I'm holding my food here for energy and all of that. Garlic, it's just gonna make you feel good. Your body doesn't have to spend a lot of time and energy trying to digest plant-based foods, fresh foods. You're going to have so much energy to be able to then, after dinner, go dancing or go hang,
Yes.
you know, whatever it is you want to do, go back to work. That's what I look at when I think about the positive and negative effects of food, really from a surface perspective.
Wow. Very cool. So really quick, Tammye, can you check and see if they can see you now? Because I made an adjustment and I'm trying to see if you are coming up on screen now.
Okay.
Can you ask your was somebody there who can you, because
Ask them. Okay.
I was asking them and nobody responded back.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, he did show the screen, but I'll ask him now. He probably, because he's not coming back downstairs, so he probably was like, "Forget it. She's not listening to me."
No, I was listening, but you know,
No. He probably think I wasn't listening to him.
Oh, I got you.
Because
No, but you know, it's I wanted to keep going and do the adjustment at the same time, but over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did he say yeah? Okay. So, you know, when you were talking about the way that we cook food, right? Most of us don't realize that that is dead food. It's just dead. It's not, I mean, and then the animal that you kill, you're killing it twice.
Exactly.
Because you slaughtered them.
Yes.
You slaughtered the hog and now you're going to cook them.
Exactly. And you terrified the animal before you.
Oh my God, you terrified the
animal. So the adrenaline is in the very muscle that you're getting ready to eat.
Yes.
Which, again, there's no judgment. Okay, yeah. He's checking now. There's no judgment.
So they still can't see you.
Oh, they still can't see me?
No.
Okay.
So is there anything covering the eye on your camera? Sometimes I do that. I cover my eye, you know, like I'll put something over it.
No, I'm looking right because I can see myself and I can see you. I'm not quite sure. Let's see. Do you see my picture right now?
I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not sure because you can see me, right?
I see you very well.
Yeah, he said no, he can't see me. So maybe it's a YouTube thing.
Okay, I don't know why.
Yeah, because we can see each other. Or not you. I don't know.
Yeah, and it's so funny because Nene said, yeah, but the conversation is great.
Thanks, Nene.
Well, now you just put something over the eye, right?
Yeah, I just switched the camera around to see if there was something going on there.
Okay, so.
Well, that's okay. They can see you. We'll just keep talking.
Yeah, we'll keep talking.
Yeah.
So the food is dead. So we have to literally retrain people from that food pyramid.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So the standard American diet created this food pyramid. I remember all the little cartoons and everything, and it had how, you know, you're supposed to have all these grains and the dairy and the
okay.
And so then, of course, now the standard American diet they found is causing us to see more cancer, more heart disease, more diabetes. So it's not working.
No.
Okay. 20 years later, however many years later, the standard American diet is now called a sad diet.
It is sad.
It is sad.
Mm-hmm.
I remember hearing, you know, doctors are like, oh, if you're sick, eat more fruits and vegetables. Well, but, you know, what does that mean? More fruits and vegetables, right?
Right.
You know, you will hear an apple a day keeps the doctor away, you know, these different cliches.
Yes.
But not really knowing and understanding, okay, we have all these different restaurants, we have all these different, you know, we grew up, my parents from the South, we grew up on soul food. What are you talking about? How then do you live and survive off of, you know, fruits and vegetables? Is that even possible? You know, but when I learned about holistic detoxing actually 10 years ago, that's when I learned how you can live without having animal products every day.
Yeah.
That's when I learned that due to the increase of animal products over the years, how the epidemic of heart disease or pandemic of heart disease and diabetes and even with Alzheimer's. I mean, how these different diseases and disorders have increased, and it has been linked to the increase of animal products being brought into our food supply.
Yes.
Because heart disease was not in the medical dictionary 50 years ago.
Oh, now see, I didn't know that statistic. Look at that.
It was not 50 years ago. So what's different? Now, if you look at cancer, everybody knows somebody that has cancer or died of cancer. Yes. And that wasn't the case 50 years ago. So what has changed? Instead of having, and not just limited to animal products, but just fast foods and processed foods that happening going on as well. What has happened is it has become an everyday item instead of an occasional item. Our grandparents didn't have the luxury of eating meat every day.
well, wasn't it that a special occasion food?
Like yes.
Special occasion. And then on top of that, I do want to put this in because what also happened 50 years ago too was mommy left the kitchen. You know, so with mommy leaving the kitchen and going into the workforce, there was no time to prepare meals. So now we have the industrial complex coming in place. So we have to have fast foods.
Exactly.
You know, you have to have the McDonald's and the J&J and the Harold's, you know, because we have to work. But that is at the expense not only of family, but of the health of ourselves and our children.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Musha, so if you think about canned goods, canned foods, so canned foods should have never been in our kitchens.
Never.
Never should have made it in the kitchens. It was designed for the military.
Yeah.
So talk about, you know, foods that have, you know, negative foods or dead food or whatever you want to call it. It's sitting in a can for years with all of this sodium. And, it, you know,
in aluminum.
In aluminum. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So thinking about how we've gotten to this place where now, I mean, I went into Kroger's, which I was excited about at Kroger's. Went into Kroger's, there were aisles and aisles and aisles of freezers for processed food, in which I'm like, everything is frozen and processed.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Wow. And you know, now they also have, because I've been in Kroger's down in Tennessee, where you can purchase, you know, your ready to go meals.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. So they cook it for you.
Yes.
And then, so that's becoming popular. And my thing is, and, you know, relating this to food having a frequency, you need to pay attention to the frequency of the person preparing your food.
Oh, talk about that. Come on.
Because the thing is that, again, what I said about law of vibration in the beginning, everything moves, everything vibrates, everything has a frequency. So if I have someone that's having a bad day, someone who is sick in their body or whatever have you, and they are preparing my food, that their energy is being transferred into my food.
You remember this movie, Water for Chocolate?
I never saw it.
Oh, Tammye, I think I remember asking you this on another.
You probably did. Yes, and I still haven't seen it.
But you know what was so interesting about this is that this woman would prepare this food and would cry in it. And everybody that ate the food would cry.
Oh, wow.
They were literally demonstrating to us, you know, that the frequency of who you are goes into the food. I mean, that was a very dramatic, you know, expression of it.
Yes.
But that is exactly what you're talking about.
Absolutely. And you don't know why you feel, you could have been having a great day, and then you don't know why you're feeling a certain way after you've eaten a certain, I mean, we have to pay attention to all of that.
Yes.
Who prepared your food? If you are relying on others that you don't know to get the majority of your food, then, you know, you're not setting yourself up for success. You're setting yourself up for sickness and disease because you don't know who's preparing your food.
Yes, that is so true. And, you know, I want us to really hear like how precious that process is.
Yeah.
You know, preparing food, eating food is a love thing.
It is. It is. It is. So Shemsu, I, you know, when I talked about us looking at food for entertainment and just, you know, I think about also that with sex. Okay. Now, how is that all similar?
Yeah. Okay. We're going to talk about sex and food. Although that's a very great Tantra conversation.
Everything has a frequency. So with sex, unfortunately, because of conditioning, life, or whatever, we have the same concept where we look at sex as just, you know, oh, I need to scratch an itch.
Yes.
Oh, I got to feel, I got to release.
I need to get me some.
I got to get me some, right?
Right.
That's low vibration.
Yes, it is.
That's low frequency.
Yes.
So the same thing when we're talking about food. Oh, I'm going to eat to satisfy this emotion, this feeling, and not putting any thought into the actual creativity, not putting any love into our bodies. We're just, you know, with sex, who can I call? Who can I call?
Yeah, who's available?
Who's available?
Mm-hmm.
You know, oh, I'm hungry. Let's see. I'm going to, go to
Order me something. Who got the best takeout faster? Who can get here faster?
Absolutely.
Pizza.
Absolutely. It is killing us. It is destroying our communities. It is causing us to walk around here with dis-ease, disorders, imbalances. The medication that the pharmaceutical companies, and I can say this because I work for one, the medications are becoming more and more expensive.
Yes.
Managed care companies are covering less Medicaid, the cost. I mean, I was talking to a client today and she said, yeah, it was something with her eye. She said the medication with my insurance was $40. She said, I'm not going to pay $40 every month for it. Was inflammation. And she knew better. So she got a little slap on the hand. But, the point was that, these companies are not covering these medications.
Yeah.
They used to, and it's going to get worse. So we have to do some things better. We have to understand and really begin to learn why kale is such a great food. Why is it a superfood? What is cilantro good for?
Yes.
What can I do to prevent what runs in my family? Because I know what runs in my family.
Yes.
What can I do proactively? That's how we have to begin to change our mindset and not just look at food as just a casual, oh, let me feel my stomach so I don't hear growling.
Wow. And it's so interesting that you say that, because now what we have to become even more aware of on top of that is the GMO products.
Oh,
so even when you start now, you go and you say, I'm going to eat more fruits and vegetables, but then you still go into the grocery store with a state of mind, I have to watch my budget, although, you can pay now or pay later.
Yes.
Right, but you're going to pay. You see, so you might as well put the best quality food in your belly.
Yes, you only have one temple.
And
you want to pay attention.
Yes.
To, and even though I'm in the produce section, I'm going to look at when kale is my favorite food, so I love to use that as an example, but I'm going to look at that apple and that orange. I'm not going to just pick up any apple or any orange.
Yes.
I want to feel the energy of my food.
Yes.
Before I buy it. That's how sensitive and kind. And I know some people out there is like, they don't take all that. And I'm saying, you know what? This body is not replaceable.
No.
So it takes all that for me. Maybe not for you, but for me, it's important, because in having and maintaining high vibrational foods with high frequency, that keeps my frequency high.
Yes.
That keeps me in tune with what's happening around me. That keeps me on top of things. It keeps me aware and conscious. It keeps my energy level up to be able to do the things that I love to do, to experience new things. So there's so many benefits and advantages to inputting high frequency foods in your body. Now, am I trying to convert anybody to a vegetarian or a vegan? Absolutely not. Because I believe, like I said, the definition of self-mastery is about balance.
Yes.
Know your body. You may be able to have a small portion of meat here and there and still be able to maintain your energy. So you have to know yourself and know your body.
Right.
But to even know yourself and know your body, Shemsu, you got to know how to clean your body out so you can reset your taste buds.
Yes. So that you can even enjoy the foods at a higher level.
Exactly. Which is why I'm so big on cleansing, detoxing regularly.
Yes.
And that was one of the things I know you wanted me to touch on.
Yeah, and as you move into that, I just want to add to high vibration food makes a difference in the regeneration of your organs in your body.
Yes.
So people don't realize that as you get older, you literally can regenerate your cells.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to be 60 next week, and
Yes.
I can honestly say that I don't wake up in pain.
Yes.
You know, I don't, you know, I sleep well, you know, I can still stretch and move around and do a few other things. And it's because I do make food choice a priority. I make that, you know,
yes.
I can have very little dollars, but that little dollars are going to go to high quality nutrition.
Exactly. Shemsu-t, I made a decision. I said, I can do my own nails. I
Yep.
can do my own toes.
Yep.
See, so people that say, oh, it's too expensive to
Right.
buy high quality food. And I said, no, it's too expensive to be sick. I
Yes,
said,
it
you spend
is.
your money on what you choose to spend it on. So
Yes.
what you feel is important. So not judging anybody, but if you
No.
feel getting your hair done every week is important to you, that's where your money is. But don't say that you can't afford high quality food. Don't lie to yourself. You just don't choose to do so.
Yeah. And then I want everybody to do this particular research because we're not taught this, but the organs in your body regenerate themselves to the point that they're only 11 months old.
Yes, absolutely.
So your organs, you know, regenerate based on your thoughts and the nutritions that you put in them.
Yes.
So if you put negative thoughts and negative food in your body, then your organs are going to be sick. As soon as you take the steps to improve them, you can revitalize your organs.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Monsieur. So, and another reason why the number 7 is so important to me, it takes 7 years to get a new body.
Completely, yeah, because that includes the bones and the skin and the
absolutely.
You can regrow your teeth too, so you know.
Absolutely, yes, absolutely, absolutely. So knowing and understanding all of that, how every little bit helps to revitalize and, like you said, to regenerate the cells and tissue long term. We can tell by our skin, the largest organ of the body, if we get a sore or something like that and we watch it heal, our internal organs are doing the same.
Yeah.
You know, so like you said, absolutely the truth. We don't ever want to get to the point where we say, oh, well, I've lived this long this way. I can't change.
It's not true. Right.
My grandmama and them taught me this. My mama and them taught me this. I can't change. It doesn't make a difference. I'm old now, or no. Every 30 days, the cells are changing.
Yeah.
Like I said, the organs every 11 months, so
yeah.
Well,
the liver itself renews itself in 6 weeks.
Yes, absolutely.
So if you quit drinking and do some milk thistle and some other stuff, immediately.
So why would we not want to put living enzymes in our living temples?
Yes.
On a regular basis. Not occasionally, not here and there, but let that be the majority of what's on our plates.
And save the other stuff for special occasions.
Absolutely, for special occasions. Why not?
I love that. So now let's go ahead into, you were getting ready to tell us about detoxing.
Yeah, so speaking of regenerating and all of that, rejuvenation, age reversal, that's what I like to describe it as. Knowing and learning and understanding, I use the term holistic detoxing because I feel that in order to enjoy a permanent lifestyle change, you have to change your mindset. You have to look at the people that are around you and do some cleansing, possibly in that area. So those relationships are spiritual, your spiritual space, and as well as being able to put fresh live foods in your body to be able to flush out the toxins and the waste that's sitting in the cells and the tissue of the body. The cells and tissue, they have memory.
Yes.
So if you never take the time to actually do a thorough cleanse, and not just the colon, but I'm saying the blood.
Yes.
I'm saying to flush out the entire
everything.
system,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can get rid of the toxins and the waste that have been sitting in the fat cells for so many years, which is what causes you to crave those very things that you don't need when you're stressed or emotional.
Yeah.
The holistic detoxing helps you to discipline yourself, but it also helps to change your taste buds, to want to have better quality food long term, and to make your body more sensitive to what you're actually putting in your system, in hopes that you decide, you know what, when I didn't have that particular food, I didn't have swelling. My eyes got better. My skin is glowing. So that you don't return to some of those foods that was causing you to have those particular symptoms in the first place.
That is so on point, because, you know, I see people do detoxes and then they go right back to eating potato chips and eating their taffy apples, and they go back to the same food that caused them to need to detox in the first place. It's almost like, for me, when I detox, I almost don't want any food. I have to make myself go back to, you know, food, because the body feels so alive and so electric. You know, so it's like I have to, okay, you're gonna have to eat. You know, I love when you did that 100 days, because it's like, man, I don't know what you're gonna do to come off of that. 'Cause that you know, having a clean body is addictive.
Oh, it is addictive. It is addictive. You almost have to live in, I don't know, the tropics to maintain. I did a 100-day juice fast.
Yes.
So I wasn't chewing at all.
Wow.
And I felt amazing. I was ready to eat, but I only wanted to eat whole quality foods with phytonutrients and vitamins. Like, I didn't want anything dead.
Right.
And after that, I couldn't even go back to a lot of the vegan cooked foods that I had, that I used to love. Some of my, they got fast food, vegan foods too,
Yeah.
And I couldn't taste them. They were dead.
Wow.
So cleaning out my body just allowed me to reintroduce the foods that are healing to my body.
Yes.
To even another level, to a higher degree, where now I want my desires to be a raw vegan about 80% of the time, with occasional cooked food. Because cooked food now is so heavy.
Yes.
Like I said, I don't care if it's vegetarian, vegan. I don't care. It just doesn't make me feel alive like live foods, like fresh foods.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. So now when you're talking to a person who has never detoxed,
yes,
what would be the process would you have them do?
So first and foremost, I would say to them to pick a day of a week that they can eliminate meat, because meat, I feel, is the biggest issue right now in disease and sickness. And just see how they feel. Just see how they feel that one day that they had whatever they normally eat, but had it without the meat. If they felt good, then okay, let's then go and eliminate maybe, some, if they're a cheese eater or something. Try a day without cheese. The goal is for them to feel comfortable in taking, whether it's 3 days or 7 days or 21 days or 100 days like I did, to have zero animal or animal products. Just to see the difference in how they feel. Now, if you tell me, oh yeah, I didn't feel any different, I'm good, that's not true, but it's okay. That's where you are.
Right.
That's okay, because remember, this is a mental thing.
Right.
So I would speak to those beginners who are saying, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't have energy. Those are the beginners that I speak to. And I can say, well, you know what? Increase your water. Let's start with just increasing your water.
Yeah.
Let's eliminate you're a chicken person. See how it feels if you don't have chicken for a week. You know, just starting that way. Now, if they decide to come and actually detox with me, then I actually have a program where I'm literally holding their hand through the process and I'm coaching them through the process.
Yes.
So it's a little bit more structured. But I really believe if our community would just experience a day without any type of animal product at all, that they would learn and know they're not going to die if they don't have meat at every meal.
Yeah.
Even if they just cut it down to just the weekends, they're going to elongate their lives just by decreasing the amount of animal products that they're putting in.
Yeah, that's really powerful, Tammye, because longevity and, actually being vital when we get to a certain age too is very important. So
yes,
what we don't realize now, I know growing up, my grandmother, you had sausage and bacon for breakfast.
Yes.
For lunch, you probably have cheese and bologna sandwiches, even a pork chop sandwich.
Exactly.
And then for dinner, you're going to have some chicken and whatever, so that's meat 3 times a day.
Yes. 3 times a day.
Yeah. So when I think about it, we really weren't poor because that was with the, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then when everybody started coming down with cancer and, and I started doing the research because the first meat that I gave up was pork.
Okay.
Because when I was 14, I went to the mosque and they taught this class and they said, well, if you want to see how bad pork is, you get you a jar. You take you a piece of pork, raw pork, you put it in the jar, and then you close it up and you put that in a dark corner up on the shelf and you leave it there. You go back in 3 days and tell me what you see.
Wow.
Girl, when I went back and I saw worms, I was done.
Yeah, you actually took the time and did the experiment.
I did the experiment.
Because you wanted to know the truth. Whereas most people don't want to know the truth.
I got that.
So those are not the ones that I, go after. Because yes, that was a life-changing moment for you. And that's why when you tell somebody you turn 60, they like, what?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Because you don't look nowhere near 60.
Oh, thank you. Well, I don't know what 50 is supposed to feel like, but I don't feel like 60.
Because you look amazing. Your skin, everything looks amazing. You practice what you preach, and you can tell the difference between someone, honestly, that eats animal products, and take medication. You can see the difference in the largest organ of the body, which is the skin.
Yes.
But also, Shemsu, the what people don't see is how the food affects something called telomeres. And I know you're familiar with the telomeres, but we hear more and more. There's more and more clinical studies being done about these telomeres because what they're finding is that disease is linked to the shortening of these telomeres.
Yep.
And the best way that I can describe telomeres is if you think of a shoestring, and at the end of the shoestring, there's these little plastic caps.
Yeah.
So that's at the end of our DNA strands. That's protecting our genes, our DNA.
Yeah.
And so because of one of the primary things that we didn't talk about, but white sugar.
Yes.
With, some other things that we're putting in the body, they're finding that these products are shortening these telomeres and they're linking into inflammation, Alzheimer's.
Wow.
All type of diseases. So the goal now is, and of course there are people that's been on it and trying to create products and things because pharmaceutical companies are on it.
That's right.
to try to elongate these telomeres, which there are natural foods that,
and most of them are your fruits and vegetables.
Your fruits and vegetables, and the reduction of stress.
Yes. Meditation. Yes.
Meditation. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So not only on the outside, because the skin is not going to lie.
Right.
It's not going to lie. But on the inside, knowing and understanding that things are happening on the inside, just like it's happening on the outside.
Wow.
Food is a frequency, and it affects your entire body, all your organ cells and tissues.
So Tammye, do you have clients there? Are you setting up your actual courses there where people can do classes online with you, or how are you creating to support your now global community?
Well, Atlanta is good to me. Chicago is good to me too. I don't want Chicago calling me and blowing my phone up on Facebook. But Atlanta, I couldn't get my stuff unpacked because they had seen my YouTube videos and had seen me on Facebook and Instagram, and they're like, yes, we were waiting on you to get here. And they started pulling. So I actually had to start going to people's homes until I could get an office set up.
Wow.
In order to teach them how to holistically detox, which has been great. But I also am offering an online class, which I started with today's individual. It's online for those who want to learn. Okay. And so today was actually the first day for my first client for online. And so, yeah, so I'm here in Atlanta. I'm doing group classes for those who want to detox as a family or a group of friends. That'll be in January. And but I'm making it a little bit more individualized down here in the South because they're so warm. And so,
but they want you to come into their homes.
They want me to come into their homes, and hey, I'm flexible.
Very cool. So now you had mentioned this earlier, and I do want us to talk about the white foods.
Yeah.
So the sugar, flour, MSG, salt,
Yeah. So, you know what? I'm going to start with, let me say in general, white products are just not good. And mainly because they've been chemically processed to get to that color. It's not the natural state of the food. Mainly for selling reasons. White is right, and so people tend to think or buy things that are white. So that's conditioning. That's a whole nother conversation.
Yes.
It's not the natural state. So when we talk about white sugar and white flour, the white sugar has been chemically processed with sulfuric acid. So why then, and which is causing nerve deterioration amongst other things happening in the body, but also too, it is, like I said, it's being linked to the shortening of the telomeres, but it affects the brain just like cocaine. It's a drug.
Wow.
Sugar is a drug. I don't care if you're vegan, vegetarian, everybody is addicted to sugar. But you can actually select natural sugars.
Yes.
So like our fruits, some of our vegetables, but then also you have coconut sugars, you have palm sugars, you have sugars that are in their natural state. So literally when the sugar or when the plant is pulled from the ground and actually cut up and processed, they didn't use chemicals to bleach it, which then now is going into the body. So I tell my clients, leave white products alone. White flour is dead. It has no nutrients.
None.
It constipates you. And I know
it's like glue. It's like glue in your belly,
Glue in your belly. And you're walking around wondering why you're not using the restroom. Well, it takes a while for animal products to digest.
Yeah.
So that's one issue. But then you have this white flour. I like to talk about when we were younger and we used to, in class, make these piñatas. and we use newspaper, water, white
Oh,
flour.
come on. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We put it on
Yes.
the balloon.
Paper mache.
Paper maches. And
Mm-hmm.
we put it, and so then the next day we come in and it was hard. But
Yes.
what do we think is happening inside of our culture?
Ooh, that is a great analogy. Oh.
Yes, yes. So we got to get rid of all this white. I'm like, if it's white, just don't do it. Just if in doubt.
If it's white, it ain't right.
It's not right, And this MSG, I know, people are like, oh, we do too much, y'all are too. But MSG,
accent.
It disrupts your brain chemicals.
Yeah.
Our brains create the glutamate already. And so when we put this MSG in, there's more glutamate. Glutamate is a neurotransmitter. And so it's going to throw everything off. Your neurons are affected because you have all this excess chemical. It's killing your neurons. So MSG, and I don't even trust now. I mean, I don't go to Chinese restaurants anymore, but I wouldn't even trust them to not put MSG in.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just wouldn't, because if you say no MSG, how do you know, unless you're allergic? Some people are allergic to it, but how do you know if they did it correctly?
Well, let me tell you how you will know. You will be craving their food.
There you go.
Because it sets up MSG it sets up a food craving. That's why people love Harold so much.
Harold uses MSG?
They have accent. That's what accent is.
I didn't know that.
Accent. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe all of them don't.
No, I just never, I haven't had Harold's in over 8 years.
But I've seen the accent thing,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The container.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, that's MSG. And people look at, well, what's MSG? Even in lemon pepper.
Okay.
They, and you have to really do your research around it, because they call it a different name now.
Yeah. They call it a different
Just like the high fructose corn syrup has a different name now. They call it natural flavoring. Really?
Yeah. I always read labels, and I look at, if I can't pronounce it, I'm not gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I keep it simple.
Simple.
We didn't talk about white salt, but I don't put white salt in my.
No table salt. I use only sea salt, and mostly Himalayan.
Mostly Himalayan.
And they have that's such a huge variety of sea salts.
It really
is. There's even a black salt that is so good for the body, and they have more than just the flavoring. It's minerals.
Oh yes, absolutely. You feel the difference. And for me, my body,
you don't need that much.
You don't need that much. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So knowing and understanding that everything started with plants, and over time, because man got greedy, wanted to make more money, wanted to extend the shelf life of the products, began to add chemicals to it to make it cheaper, to make it last long. Everything, so you don't have to settle for inferior products. Always go, to a health food store or whatever. I'm not going to really promote anybody, but go somewhere that sells natural products and find the natural version of whatever that is you like. I guarantee you, it's gonna be a difference.
It tastes so much better.
Mm-hmm. So that's what I work with my clients on, just knowing that you can replace some of the foods that do have the low frequencies with higher frequency foods and enjoy them a lot better.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Totally.
And so really quickly, Shemsu, one of the things I want to address, because this is something that comes up with my clients. Well, I'm busy.
Oh, yes.
I got kids. I work. I got a husband.
I don't have time.
To do all this healthy stuff, and so what I say is that's even more of a reason to have a plant-based diet.
Okay.
because the original fast food was fruits and vegetables.
Yes, it was.
You pick your nuts from the tree and you keep going. That's your snack.
That's your snack.
You pick your apple or your orange. You know, that's the original fast food.
Wow.
I said fast food isn't fast food anymore. By the time you drive there and sit there.
Yeah.
And then they get your food wrong. So you got to go back in and get corrected.
All the attitude. Come on.
And you have the attitude. That's not fast food. You could have gone in there and chopped up some avocado, some kale, some spinach, put some bell peppers in there, put your little dressing in there, and kept it moving.
Wow.
So my thing is, for those who are busy, keep fresh fruits and vegetables all around you.
All around.
Eat to live. Don't live to eat. Don't use the food as a pacifier.
Yes.
You know, don't use the excuse that I'm busy, so I have to go take me and my 3 kids through a drive-through because I'm too tired to cook. If you're too tired to cook, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah. And you're not realizing how precious.
Yes.
I mean, we're too precious to throw off that nutrition as though it's a byproduct. It's not. It's one of the most important. Food is our medicine.
Food is our medicine. Absolutely.
So it's a preventive measure. You keep running, you know, your kids are sick because you're eating too much poor. I mean, McDonald's is not even nutritious anymore.
Oh, no.
It's not even real food. Go do your research on that. You see over and over where people are showing you that this food will sit for 30 days and not decompose.
Yes, absolutely.
So what is it doing in your stomach?
Yes. And those golden arches are still up there.
Strong. Okay. And they're still making thousands of dollars off of your not having time. But,
Absolutely.
you know, I do want to speak to that because I was a single mother working in corporate with children. And one of the things that I did was Sunday was my day to cook.
Okay.
And so, you know, back then I was still eating rice. I don't eat rice anymore, but I always brown rice, you know. I make a big batch of rice.
Yes.
I make a pasta salad.
Yes.
Right? You know,
yes.
And then I would cut up, you know, in one container would be the onions cut up, another container would be the celery cut, you know, and you would do all that. And then on the mornings, if I was going to cook something, you know, I would throw those cut up things in the crock pot, turn it on slow.
There you go. There you go. That's
right. And then when I come home, I just heat up the rice, do a stir fry or whatever we're going to do.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
And then guess what? Include if the children are old enough, everybody just gets to participate. Everybody has to make one meal for the week.
Yes. And everybody ate the same meal.
Everybody ate the same. Well, yeah. And, you know, except I was married at one point to a man who was not a vegetarian.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay. Yes. That makes a difference.
But you know,
you were ahead of the game though back then, Shemsu, because back then I didn't know the first vegetarian I ever even heard of or seen was my college roommate. And that was how many years ago?
Oh, yeah.
And I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
And so, you know, this lifestyle is new for me. I mean, I'm only 8 years in.
Yeah, when I was first a vegetarian, I was really not a vegetarian. I just didn't eat meat.
Okay.
And I got sick a lot because I lived off of pizza.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would eat fruits and vegetables every now and then. But even in college, you know, pancakes, pizza, salad, you know, like that. So every time I came home from college, I had walking pneumonia. You know,
oh, wow.
So then I ran into some vegetarians that said, you know, you, and what they told me was when I ran into some vegetarians, they were older than me, but they said, you know, you have to make your own food.
Yeah.
You know, you have to study beans and you have to study legumes. You have to study the legumes, right?
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah. So it took me a minute to get the balance.
Yeah, the balance. Yeah, because you didn't have a Mushin soup back then.
I didn't. I really didn't. I just knew I didn't want the meat.
For us, you know?
Right. We have each other now.
Absolutely. you had to go through the fire to be able to help us. That was
oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But I tell you what, that's why, I have a food group on Facebook called More Better Food and Recipes.
Okay.
And all I can think about is young mothers, because I don't hardly cook any. I mean, it's just me, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
But it's like these recipes so that they can have some ideas of how to do meatless meals.
Yeah, yes. Because that's really what needs to happen. We just have to recondition our minds. We just have to change our mindsets. I like to refer to the movie Soul Food.
Yeah.
And how, they honored Big Mama's death by creating like all the different dishes Big Mama used to make.
Right.
Knowing and understanding that that's why Big Mama wasn't with him anymore.
She died, and she was a heavy sister.
And I think she had diabetes.
Yeah, come on.
And that was the reason. So at what point do we break that chain? Do we change our mindset, that break that conditioning, and realize that our ancestors did what they could to survive?
And when we know better,
we should do better.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So again, holistically, mind, body, spirit, putting it all together, knowing one has to do with the other in order to permanently change our lifestyle and not just lose weight so we can look good in our bikini in June,
I know this woman. She went and had the lap band surgery or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And I knew her because we used to dance a lot. We used to love, every time I saw her, she would stay on the dance floor with me.
Okay.
And she was like maybe 3 times my size, but she could dance all night.
Yeah.
And I saw on Facebook that she had died. And I knew when she did the surgery, I hadn't seen her since then, but her daughter told me or mentioned on Facebook that she had got down to a size 9. She said the only thing she did was get small enough to fit into a casket. And she died because usually when people do that type of surgery, she died from malnutrition.
Yep, absolutely. I was going to say the clients that I get that have had the surgery, they still have to come to me because now it's worse because the stomachs are so small.
Yes.
And they're more concerned about what tastes good than the actual nutrients that they're getting in their bodies. Yeah. So then they start having all these other
symptoms. Battles and issues.
Flux and absolutely.
Yeah.
So they still have to learn. Yeah, absolutely. But it's happening more and more. And I mean, I know that the cosmetic surgery, especially in the Black community, is becoming more. We're adding hips and shrinking stomachs, and we're focusing so much on the outside. Everybody is getting the same type of body. And unfortunately, whatever they're injecting the behinds with, or it's becoming a part of the body. It's getting into the bloodstream, having all of these complications and issues because the long-term effects, they're guinea pigs for the long-term effects.
They don't even know what they're doing yet because this is a new industry.
It's a new industry. And so, I mean, literally, we have Black women that are flying to Dominican Republic that are going to get these different surgeries. And unfortunately, it's not sustainable.
Nope.
And they're still developing heart disease, cancer, diabetes.
Well, the other side of that, Tammye, I'm so glad that you touched on that. The other side of that is that it's not dealing with the lack of self-love and appreciation and self-worth. It's not dealing with that. So now it's exaggerating that you don't love yourself. Absolutely. Because now you have to deal with whatever the skin is doing anyway that you're trying for it not to do.
Exactly.
Timothy said the other night, can you live with the mystery?
I love that. Yes.
So our bodies change. I mean, at 60, this is a different body.
Come on, yes.
And I get to experience it differently.
Yes.
I get to see, can it do this? Can my mind make my body into the way that I want it to be?
Exactly.
You see, can I use binaural beats to make my butt big instead of going to get an injection? You see, exactly. There's so much more to this body than just food.
Exactly. Absolutely. That's just,
and plastic surgery is not going to give you that appreciation for who you are. It's just not.
No, it's not. It's not. It's, you think that it's raising your self-esteem, which we tend to think, oh, that's our vibration is getting higher. And it's really not, because like you said, we haven't dealt with the root.
Yeah.
We haven't dealt with learning how to love ourselves. And that's why people end up getting addicted to plastic surgery.
Because they do. They keep going back and back and back.
They never dealt with the root, the self-love. They never learn how to love themselves internally. And so it plays a part. And so we're still grabbing for potato chips to self-medicate, to grabbing, this to self-medicate,
Wow.
And so we end up, and like, you said, the lady ended up at a size 9 and being able to fit in her
casket. Yeah. And I was shocked that she had died. I'm like, no.
Yeah. And that's the reality. Yes. And as much as we see people around us, and younger, just dropping dead of heart attacks and strokes, we're still doing the same things. And I see people in the health club and they say, oh, I work out so I can eat what I want to eat.
No.
I'm like, okay. So we need so much education. And that's why I do what I do, Shemsu.
And that's why we do what we do with Master Force. Because that's we do the whole life quadrant: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual. Absolutely. And you do that inside of food as well, because it gives us what you say is sustainability.
Yes.
And so that way, if I go on vacation and I want to have an occasional this and this, I know what to do when I come back off vacation.
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell us a couple of food hacks, for instance, that that people might be able to include as they're moving toward this kind. Because for me, detoxing, eating healthy, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
It's what I do. I detox with the solstice. 4 times a year, twice with the solstice, twice with the equinox.
Yes.
And then, like if it's something that I want to eat and I know it's not what I normally eat, I'll detox or fast the next day so that my body can eliminate it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. I strongly encourage that. It's a lifestyle, like you said. I'm big about juicing. So my food hacks is get you a juicer. Because you can just take you a nice little cantaloupe or watermelon, cut it up, flush your system out. It covers, I say, a multitude of sins.
Yes, it does.
It's quick, it's easy, you can clean it out and keep going, especially for people who say they're busy. You get the nutrients that you need, you're gonna have the energy, you don't need no coffee. You just get you a little juicer, cut up your fruit or whatever and keep it moving. Cut up your vegetables. I'm big about juicing.
Yeah. Any particular one that you recommend?
Well, I recommend melons, especially for those people who have high blood pressure, edema, for the summertime, because for example, cantaloupe has so many nutrients in it.
Yes.
And you would keep the peel, to keep the rind on it, clean it off really good with your apple cider vinegar and water, or your veggie wash, whatever you use to clean off your fruit. Cut it up as quick as easy. You have tons of nutrients. But so that's as a fruit juice, but it's important to have a vegetable juice because it's really the phytonutrients in the vegetables that causes what you were talking about earlier, Shemsu, rebuilding, regenerating the cells and tissue of the body.
Right.
And that's the phytonutrients in those greens that's doing that.
Ooh.
Whereas the fruit is cleansing, which is great. You need a balance. but the phytonutrients is what's rebuilding and regenerating those cells and tissue. So I'm a big spinach, kale, collard greens are okay. Having some cucumber as a base. Big on ginger and helping to build the immune system. This time of year with everybody getting the flu, I have my garlic, I'll put that in the juicer or I'll cut it up and take it. So again, going into the produce section and saying, okay, well, what greens do I really like, and own it. I'm a kale person. I'm going to find 50 million things to do with my kale.
Yeah.
I use it. I make salads with it.
Yeah.
I'm making kale chips with it now. Yeah. Just whatever your green is. I love spinach salad. I'll eat spinach salad for breakfast. I'll make a big old bunch of it. And I cut my avocados in there and put my red onions, because those are the things that I am going to absolutely have all the time. Cut it up and go and take a few spoons and leave. Those are like, quick things. I believe in, having the hot water with lemon in the morning to just clean out, because your body is actually healing itself, in the middle of the night. So the first thing in the morning, you want to flush with some hot water and lemon. I'm big on, Kiana was talking about the essential oils. I'm big on having my essential oils in my purse. My peppermint oil is my savior. That's put in my water. I'm diffusing it right now. I'm a peppermint oil girl. So having your oils with you, it helps to freshen your breath.
Right.
So, and then as far as drinking water, not drinking water at least a half hour before you eat, and after a meal, wait an hour. Because you don't want to dilute the hydrochloric acid in the stomach that's needed to be able to break down your food efficiently. So learning how to, and that took me a while to balance that, because I was a food eater, water drinker, drink. And that's why you end up having all this gas and
bloating.
Because
the food isn't getting a chance to digest. It's diluted.
It's diluted. Exactly. So those are just kind of some of the things. I'm not a big apple cider vinegar person. I'm a blood type O, and I believe in eating according to your blood type. But even with that, it as O's, we have a lot of stomach acid. So when I put that in my body, I'm like, okay, I can't do that. But I am a lemon girl, so I have lemon water right now, which but yeah, those are some of the things I could think of offhand.
Yeah, one of the things that I love to do is the turmeric.
Oh yeah,
turmeric. Yeah, and
in your tea or in your juice.
In either one, because you can buy them and juice them.
I juice mine. Yeah. Sometimes I'll put it in my hot water also.
Yes, I also because I like the golden milk with the turmeric, coconut milk, and honey and cinnamon. That's good to go to bed. And you talk about working on your joints while you sleep.
Ooh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And then when you're coming down off exercise, one of the best things for taking out the lactic acid is just like a quarter teaspoon of baking soda in some water. And that helps to get rid of the lactic acid in your body. And everyone, I hope, knows that they should be on alkaline water, pure. I mean, you cannot be on this faucet water.
That's right.
When people tell me they're sick and I say, are you drinking tap water? And they say, yes, you almost want to cringe, but you have to be careful because there's going to be a cost factor in them going to the next level. So you have to talk them through it.
Yes, absolutely. And you read my mind, Shemsu, because that's my number one hack.
Yes.
The thing that I learned and how I maintain the 60 pounds off weight loss over these last 8 years is I keep my water with me all the time.
Yes.
Because most people would confuse dehydration with hunger.
Yes, they will.
Eat instead of drink. So if I stay hydrated, I don't eat as much.
Yeah.
So that's my number one hack.
Well, I'm glad that you said that too, Tammye, because actually food is an addiction too.
Yes, it is.
In America, we eat way too much.
Yes. Yes.
So it's okay to skip a meal, you know.
Yes.
And you know, like one of my favorite things to do when I'm between juicing is to have a smoothie with the avocado, a banana, and coconut milk.
Yes.
Man, you know, I'm good. So I got that avocado, I got that fat, and I got that banana.
That's right. Oh yeah, that's a meal.
That's a meal.
Yes, absolutely. You don't have to stuff yourself or put things in your body that you are accustomed to having because it's Friday night and it's fish night
Yeah, or pizza. Pizza. Yeah.
pizza night.
Right.
You know, yeah, we have to break that.
Yes, we do.
To live and not live to eat.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking as you were talking about how it's so important to journal like your revelations, your aha moments.
Yes.
In order to be able to break this food addiction, like you were talking about. It's so important being able to identify the triggers.
Yes.
During stressful times, during emotional times.
What makes me want to eat?
Yes, exactly. Because then you can redirect your energy. Am I really hungry? Or I just got off the phone with somebody and I'm just upset. And
I'm upset.
You know,
yes.
Am I hungry or am I thirsty? When's the last time I had some water?
Wow.
You know, why am I grabbing these potatoes because I'm hungry and I need to just really go home and eat? What is going on? You know, and it's not doing it occasionally. It's when it has become a habit.
Right.
You know, that's the issue. And that's why stress, it's about balance. It's not about being perfect.
No.
It's about learning yourself and it's about balance.
Yeah.
So, and then I've been online. I don't know if you noticed, Shemsu-t, but I've been making my little raw meals. I've been online.
Yeah, you've been in the lab. I've seen you.
In the lab.
I saw those hamburgers. Not hamburgers, those burgers.
Yeah, those raw burgers, the raw pizza. I go online and I Google and say, okay, I'm going to figure out how to do a raw lasagna today, you know.
Wow.
And, so those are the things that I'm doing. But actually in Atlanta, January 1st, there is a raw food chef that's having an event that I'm gonna, because I don't, really haven't met anyone that's specifically a raw chef, and especially in the Black community. So I'm looking forward to actually attending that on January 1st and getting even more ideas on meeting my goal of 80%.
That is so. I'm spoiled because I've had raw chefs come and cook for me. When we were at the McCaskill house, when you just said that, I was like, oh man, I've had raw chefs just come and they would call and say, hey, meet me at the grocery store. I'm going to cook for you.
Oh, I would love that.
Oh my God. I'm going to introduce you to, she's a Leo. She's so phenomenal. I'm going to introduce you to her.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah, she's not in Atlanta, but she was in DC. She travels around. She actually cooked for Venus Williams.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Serena and Venus. Yeah. So I'm going to you will love her. Yeah.
Oh, I would love.
And she has a phenomenal book out. So yeah, I'm going to introduce you to her. You're going to love her.
Okay. Okay. Well, wonderful.
Yay, I'm glad you said that.
Yes. I appreciate it.
Wow. And you know what? I'm sitting here like, I know Tammy's like, mood, it's after 9 o'clock.
I'm like, okay. Look, I'm an hour behind. So I was like, yesterday I was getting like, woo.
I know, like, don't have me go to sleep on y'all. So, Tammye, I just want to take this time to, just thank you for who you are. Not just on Ignite Your Soul Connection, but who you are for the community of Masterforce, for the community of Chicago. I know several people who have gone through your program and whose lifestyles and life have been affected forever because of what you taught them. And I'm just constantly amazed at our partnership. I just love that we're in this journey together,
Yes.
Along with the other coaches this week. This has been a phenomenal week.
Oh, yes.
And I was just telling somebody else, I realize now that because of where we are in with our people, we need to do this more than once a year.
Oh, yeah.
And I know Jaquay has been telling me this. you know, time and time. But now I see it, it's almost like a weekly conversation that has to come up so that we can really, you know, strongly be emphatic about letting people know, no, our soul is an important part of our living.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's not the back burner.
Exactly. Yes, I agree. I agree, Musha. So
yeah,
totally. And I appreciate you just always being here and supportive and loving and compassionate and modeling it. And you know, that's why I say this is my life coach. So
wow. But thank you. And I'm gonna have to come and see you. So I'm gonna I have a niece, I have a few nieces. I have 5 nieces in Atlanta.
Oh wow.
And you know, you have another life coach down there. Ray is down there. Yeah, so I have to make sure that you guys know how to get in touch with each other too. So
please, yes, please.
Yeah,
please
she's doing some phenomenal things down there. So
please, yes, the more the merrier. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your amazing conversation. And then if it's anything that you need me to post to the page, you know, just, you know, inbox me and I'll put it out, you know, and then let people know how they can contact you and any last words that you may have.
Okay. Well, yeah. So I am on all the social media sites. So I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, under Restored by Tammye or Tammye Master Yourself Mathews. Also, I have a website, restoredbytammye.com, and they can find me. They can call me 312-714-0449. I am running a special right now for coaching till January 31st. So they can go on my website and take a look at the prices. And and if they have any questions, they can inbox me.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you. And thank you for making time for us tonight.
Thank you, Musha,
I just
for
love
allowing me to be a part.
Yes, I'm grateful that we have this platform, as Timothy liked to say. I'm grateful that we actually can do this.
Yes,
and then have the knowledge and the generosity to go along with it. That's just beautiful.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you. And you enjoy.
I'll see you soon.
You'll see me soon. And enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Musha. So you too. Thank you. Love you.
Love you.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.